Well, in today's subject, before I start my gameplay videos, I want to talk about something about Spectrum, about my cable provider. Okay, yesterday, I was watching Kelly and Ryan, live with Kelly and Ryan yesterday. Okay, on my DVR because it was too early in the morning and I couldn't catch everything earlier on that day. And so I have a DVR. Okay, mind you, I was watching it, and all of a sudden, like 45 minutes late, around 9:43, within that time frame, the news coverage comes on about the government shutdown, coming to an agreement for the so-and-so, about the Dreamers. Honestly, that's all good, but here's the thing. Everybody who watches the Regis, Kelly and Ryan live, whatever, if they miss a trivia question, which I don't really care for, but I know people that actually watch the show and try to sign up for the trips, they missed out on a possible trivia question. And you know what the problem is? Because here's the kicker. Okay, here's the thing. Here's where I have a problem with it. When a certain show is on and you interrupt it with news coverage based on the government shutdown, which I knew was gonna happen regardless of it, and you're blaming the wrong people for it, which I don't understand. First off, see, here's the problem I have with news coverage like that. When it interrupts a show like that, it actually bothers me when there's a show going on and there's no way to catch up on that show unless they show reruns of Live with Kelly and Ryan, or Kelly and Regis, or Kelly and Michael, or whatever, because they don't have an on-demand feature for that show for Live with Kelly and Ryan. They don't have like it has for The View or The Chew or anything like that. Every time somebody wants to watch Kelly and Ryan watching a trivia question with a possible guest, they can't watch a rerun because they don't have a feature for Kelly and Ryan for that show. I don't understand why Kelly and Ryan don't have an on-demand section for that show. Everything else, they have it for The Chew, they have it for all the daytime dramas. I don't understand why Kelly and Ryan don't have a daytime section for their show. Out of everybody's show, Kelly and Ryan, or Regis and Kelly, or Kelly and Michael don't have a section for their parts of that show. like the whole show broadcasted for 45 minutes or something like that. Because talking about the government shutdown for like 5 minutes is crucial to certain people who watch for the trivia questions. I'm wondering, I was watching it yesterday. I was going, huh? Why are they showing the news right in the middle of a possible trivia question for Ryan and Kelly, Live with Ryan and Kelly, right in the middle of it? And it might be a possible question for that show, and nobody's watched it because they missed 5 minutes of it. And I was like, thinking to myself, you interrupted a show for 5 minutes, which doesn't have any importance because everybody has the internet on their phone, and they have news articles on their smartphone saying the government shutdown was fixed for the X amount of months. And I was like, they interrupted a show for 5 minutes just to report they fixed the government problem that they had for this. They interrupted that show for this. And I knew it was gonna take at least a week or 3 days. I mean, The View has a on-demand feature for their show. I don't understand why Kelly and Ryan don't have a section for their show either, on that part of that section for the primetime section for ABC. That's all I'm saying. If people miss out on the trivia questions, I don't understand why they don't rebroadcast it for straight to on demand for for Spectrum. I don't understand it, because if the news interrupts a show like that, the trivia questions are going to be missed by the people that actually enter that contest. And I was like, huh? That might be a question, and somebody's gonna miss it because they aired the news for 5 minutes. I mean, I know the news wants to compete with the internet. That's why the news is on about 13 hours throughout the day now, instead of showing actual TV shows and stuff like that. I mean, that's why they want to try to compete with the internet, which I don't mind that. It's all good, but if it interrupts an actual show that people actually watch in the morning for winning a contest or something, if they miss that question because of the news, that's a big issue, because there's no way to retrieve that question unless you go online for that, which I'm guessing that Ryan and Kelly don't have a section for their show for that particular. I wonder if you could even watch their show online. If you can, then I'm mistaken, but I'm one of the old-fashioned people who watch everything on TV. I don't watch things on the internet. And honestly, for what? Like the show got missed because the government shutdown was fixed for 30 seconds. That was crucial to somebody. That was a possible trivia question, and I was like thinking to myself, why doesn't Spectrum have a section for Live with Kelly and Ryan? Why don't they have a section for their show? I mean, they have one for The View, they have one for The Chew, like I said. They have one for every drama that they have on that section too. I mean, but they don't have one for Kelly and Ryan. I mean, out of everything that they don't have for ABC, they don't have that one. I don't get it. Like, out of every show that they show on ABC for Live with Kelly and Ryan, they don't have that one. That's what I don't get. They have one for The Good Doctor. They have one for every single show except for that particular show. I don't know what deal you have to make to actually be part of that section for on demand. But that show for Kelly and Ryan, they don't have that for an on-demand feature for that particular show. I don't understand it. It boggles my mind. As many years as I've had cable, they don't have Live with Kelly and Ryan or Live with anything. I mean, reruns of Live with anything. They don't have reruns of that, so I'm wondering, what kind of deal do you have to make with Spectrum for hold on. For that to go down with Spectrum when that deal was made, when the on-demand features are in existence, because every show's on there except for Kelly and Ryan. Everything else is on there. I mean, Designated Survivor, I think it's Speechless. Yeah, everything is on there except for that one. And every time there's a government news report, somebody's missing out on a trivia question. Somebody. I don't care who it is. Somebody's gonna miss out on a 30-second question possibly, just because of news coverage. I mean, the news for Channel 7 starts at 11 o'clock. Couldn't you guys wait until 11 o'clock? Until the actual shows were over? I mean, government shutdowns don't happen very often, but when they do, it's just normal. I mean, think of it as a normal thing. If you think about it as a normal thing, then it's no big deal. I mean, but people who have, like, entered contest before on that show with Kelly and Ryan or The View or whatever, they missed out on a possible question just because the government interrupted that part of that show. And there's no way to retrace it. I know I'm yelling, or talking to you in a loud manner, and I'm not really paying attention to those questions that are coming out on screen, but that's what I'm talking about. It's like, okay, you guys interrupt the news, you guys interrupt the show at 9:43 a.m. just to tell us the government's working again. They could have waited until 11 o'clock when they actually showed the news on Channel 7 and do it that way. That would have been better, because then you could report everything. And plus, everything is on the internet now. You didn't need to report that. I mean, I got the news on my phone saying the government shutdown was fixed on my app on here. I mean, that's the bottom line. I mean, I like watching the news only to a certain extent. I don't... Look, these are the topics I actually watch for now. The entertainment report, I don't watch it for the weather, and the technology report on Channel 5. I don't watch it for other stuff, really, because that's normal. I mean, and besides, so on average, and plus I have my DVR, so I could skip all the boring stuff about the news if I wanted. That's not important to me. And honestly, with the internet now, I could see why the news report is trying to invade everywhere for 24 hours. Because they can't compete with the internet. That's why every channel shows news until 10 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock in almost 12 hours. I mean, for the news. I mean, we got it starts at 4 a.m. typically for a regular news broadcast, and then it goes from that to 10 to then 1 o'clock, and then 3, and then 6, and then 10 to 11:30. So you're looking at, roughly 6 hours of news on Channel 5. Or anything for that matter. For news coverage. Whatever channel you watch, you're watching 6 hours of news on actual television. I mean, just to compete with this little device right here, your phone. I mean, that's insane. And I'm wondering when Kelly, back on topic now, or I never left topic, but I just thought I might throw that in there. But I wonder when Kelly and Ryan are gonna actually join the party for being on demand feature for Spectrum, or back in the day, Time Warner, because everybody who watches that show will say they missed a trivia question or something like that, based on because there was a news interruption somewhere. Or I will actually say that if I was actually actually entering one of their contests, I would actually say I possibly got interrupted by a news report and I couldn't watch that possible trivia question. I mean, that's it. They have one, like I said, I'll keep saying this until I'm done with this video. Or if I am actually going to be done. Which is going to be in about 2 minutes. Like I said, every news outlet needs to stop interrupting actual shows and do it a little later after the show's over. That would make sense to me, rather than interrupting a show in progress because of the internet. I mean, I knew the government shutdown was possibly gonna take a week to fix, but they took 3 days. Okay. You know, back in the day, there was news coverage about 9/11. I was over it after 3 days of hearing terrorists attacked us. I mean, okay, find out your information and go get these guys. Don't report that for a week. I was sitting in bed but at that time I was getting over my surgery, right? Okay. But every news outlet was like, terrorist attack. I'm like, that's not good, but we gotta get over it quicker than showing the same thing for three days straight or a week. I'm like, oh. I was like, and that's all I gotta say, because we gotta get over certain things quicker, and we gotta give Kelly and Ryan a outlet to actually show their shows for those contestants that possibly missed it because of the news conference yesterday, based on the budget agenda for the government. I mean, come on. And on top of that, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. The only reason why I would watch the news ever is 90%, I would say about 60% of individuals watch the news based on The weather's not important. The entertainment space based on certain stuff is important. But I watch it mainly for the tech report, and that's about it. Just one subject. I don't even watch it for sports. I don't even watch it for anything else, but I will watch it for the tech space of the news. Everything else, that's day-to-day life. We gotta deal with it. Go to, if somebody was working that day, we gotta go to work or something like that. So, or we'll hear it on the radio. There's so many outlets for news now that before the radio got taken over by TV. Now TV's being taken over by the internet. And the internet will probably be taken over by something else. Digital, 3D, holographic news reporting or something like that. But certain subjects on the news are not more important than certain TV shows, because they'll come out on rerun. The TV show will come out on reruns, but that they missed that possible trivia question based on that day. So I'll just leave it at that. Whoa. Well, as of right now, I'm going to be finishing up the last level of this before I head out, before I end this stream. I'm going to be playing this, and that's it for at least 2 hours. I'm going to try to beat the next level of this. So, I'm going to work on that now. So,
Text to speech on Facebook.